Welcome back, trackside. Once again, race fans here to the Turn 3 Racing Network back in action. Talladega Super Speedway, the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Cup Series fires things off for season number 11. Familiar faces, familiar places. Who's going to get it done here tonight and go away with the first win in 2025? Janikin back in action. He's been missing since last season. We'll see what he can do out there. No sponsors on that number 8 Black Machine. Laying down some qualifying times. Speaking of qualifying times, what do you say? Why don't we go ahead and hit trackside. Get a little bit of those timing and scoring charts up there to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find your favorite driver here. And it looks like Doug Argabright sitting top of the speed charts, 53.05 for the fast time so far. Who's that overlaid over top of him? Can't quite tell. And, you know, that's how things begin here in 2025. A little bit of graphic problems. We're going to work through those and try to get them all sorted out, but nonetheless, just about 60 seconds remaining here in qualifying for drivers to try to put themselves at the top of the speed charts, lead this field to the green flag. No fast repairs here tonight. Drivers are not going to be able to just have the luxury of going down, getting a quick fix, and getting back out on the track. So will we see cautious, cool-headed driving early here tonight, or will drivers just throw caution to the wind and have at it, boys? We're going to find out here as season number 11 gets set to get underway. Nothing else to say. We're going to head to a brief break, head trackside for the national anthem, and get you your starting lineup here tonight for the Talladega 187.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave
And fresh after the first flyover of the season, we're ready to head trackside as the final few drivers make their way through pre-race inspection. Drivers a little more scrutinized here after a little bit of a holiday break. Hope everybody had happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, had a wonderful New Year. Hope you had time to spend time with your loved ones. Hope everybody's doing well. Arga Bright, hopefully them fires don't make their way towards you over there. You said you're out of harm's way for now, but we'll see after you get home from the track. After tonight's race here at Talladega Super Speedway, let's head trackside as drivers get set for 75 laps of fast-paced, high-banked, hardcore action, beating, bumping, banging, bump and run. We'll have drafting at its finest here tonight. Clark Janikin back in action and back at the top of the speed charts. Who would have thought, right? Clark Janikin going to take off last season, come right back here, open it up with the first pole position of season number 11. He's going to have Doug Argabright, a former champion here 2 seasons ago. That 41 was top dog of them all on the Xfinity run, back behind the wheel of that Mobile 1 black and gold 41 machine. Doug Argabright going to start from outside pole position. Jeffrey Engel, Dave Gage showing a little speed here tonight. That 404, a little bit of a dismal run last season. We'll see how he begins this season here tonight as drivers do begin to finally roll off of the starting grid. Derek Moore, Alex Wiggins, going to start in row number 3 here tonight. And a long way to go around this track, so we're going to take a little bit of time to get through tonight's starting lineup. Brian Tarnowski right there sitting in 7th position. The number 9 machine of Jake Dofing going to start just 2 his outside. Nick Burlow, solid run and qualifying effort for Burlow inside of the top 10. There you can see just a little bit of a look of that number 51 machine, bottom inside row. Number 5, Christian Abate, he's going to make his way through the field. Don't think the New England native is going to play slouch and stay in the back of the pack here tonight. Look for that 45 to head towards the front of the field. Andrew McConville and Michael Overstreet making up row number 6. McConville, one of the drivers we had to look out for in season 10. Crapshoot here tonight. Which way does he roll the dice? The number 96 and the 5 going to start in row number 7. Daniel Jensen, Zach Miller back there in row number 8. Nicholas Wing in that 24 machine, the DuPont Rainbow Warrior scheme. Back of the pack here, we'll see if Wing can make his way up through the field. Patrick Coro, Joe Wormter, going to round out the 19 car field here tonight. So drivers ready to get rumbling. The next gen machines out there pacing the field. Base car in, and we're ready to go for the first time here in 2025 to kick things off. Let's see what happens here. Pole sitter going to roll into the Geico restart zone. All the gas and green flag flies for the first time here at 25. Cloudy skies going to let these engines run a little bit cooler. Might get a little bit more horsepower. One driver way up the field. I believe that's going to be the number 10. McConville, he's heading to the back of the field fast early here. Lap number 1, halfway down the backstretch. Jenikin still leading. Argabright to the outside, dropping back just a little bit. Look for that outside lane to get a little bit of a run, though. Looks like, I believe that's going to be the 16 of Derek Moore, taking that holiday bourbon Ford Mustang to the top of the speedway. And And with these next-gen machines, it's a little bit tougher. And Janikin leading a lap. He's going to go ahead and give up that race lead. He's got a point for leading a lap. Going to head to the back of the field now. 2-3 wide as Janikin pulls the parachute, heads to the back of the field, finds the front bumper of the 404 of Dave Gage. Stuck in the middle right now for the time being. If that outside lane formulates, looks like Argabright going to stay tucked in line. To the inside now. Convol going to jump away from that outside lane, and now that outside line starting to fall apart. Meanwhile, at the front, Derek Moore still trying to make something happen. Has a little bit of help from that number 10 machine. There you can see McConville trying to work up to the rear of the bumper. Just unable to get there for the moment. Just as we say that, here they come flying down the backstretch side by side into turn number 3. Race lead up for grabs. Jeffrey Engel going to lead the field through the middle of 3 and 4. Will he lead them at the line at a 4 this time by? Let's watch him. And there you can see what I was talking about, what I was alluding to. That outside lane really just kind of completely going away. Only 2 drivers really out there trying to run that high side for now. So looks like most of the field content to run single file, log some laps, get this thing going, work themselves into possible green flag pit stop situations. That's where races truly can be made on pit road at these super speedways, just like that, with the snap of the fingers. 2 drivers going to join him on the high side. It's a 4-car train off of turn number 4, back across the stripe. Derek Moore looking to lead a lap for the first time here tonight, and as we cross the line, we'll drop the timing and scoring over there to the left-hand side. Derek Moore going to lead the field. Jeffrey Engel still working that inside lane behind the wheel of that number 89 Turner Trucking Company machine. The Camaro looking sporty here, trying to fight off the Ford. Fastest lap of the race going to go to the 45 of Christian Avanti. Then you can see him, 4th driver. Outside lane as your top 2, able to clear the inside. McConville looking for the bottom. He's going to take it. That's going to drag Moore down for a moment as to the high side runs the number 96 machine. Nick Frangulis, amazing run, back of the field, up 11 positions early here tonight, pushing Derek Moore well and away out front. Avanti looking to stay with him. I'm surprised, really. Surprised that those 4 cars were able to make that big of a run. Tangle it down to 3, and now single file front of the field. Bit of a breakaway. The man conflicted in his state. You see him back there behind the 51, Alex Wiggins, the Michigan Lions. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about, the Michigan Lions, but there you have it. There you can see it. The man knows his own heart. That's all I've got to say. Check out the number 4 Panini Snake River Racing sponsored machine, working his way to the high side. Daniel Jensen looking to get to the front of the field. Winter with a solid run so far here tonight as well. Up 4 positions, just quietly, calmly working his way to the outside now. A little bit of numbers as we've got side by side in the back of this field. I say back in the field, they're about 1.3, 1.7 seconds back. I know that's about a half a second jump from this group that's out front leading right now. Your top 8 drivers starting to step away. No wonder if right now that side-by-side racing back here in this second pack, if that's going to be conducive of chasing down those race leaders, or are they already, are drivers already starting to look at possible green flag pit stops, grouping themselves with the drivers that are comfortable running these speeds and heading to pit lane? As we mentioned, familiar faces. We've had the pleasure and privilege of bringing you the Hauck Design series over the course of, I believe it's been, and if you're out there listening right now, it's been, what, 8 seasons? 7, 8 seasons straight now that we've been with this group of drivers, and week in, week out, phenomenal racing. Some amazing drivers. Calculated moves already here tonight in the Talladega 187 race number 1. The American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs Cup Series pole sitter Clark Janikin re-emerging on scene, claiming a pole position, claiming a lap led, and quickly headed to the rear of the field outside of the top 10. There we can see Janikin about 6th in line here in this second pack, running right behind outside pole sitter Doug Argabright in the 41 machine. So both of those drivers outside of the top 10 looking in for the moment. 2.3 seconds separate the two packs of drivers. And what do you do? What do you do here? I believe you're going to be approaching close to halfway on the fuel run here. Drivers are going to have to start eyeballing those entries to pit road. They're going to have to start getting on the radio and communicating when they're heading to pit road, who's coming with who's going where. Not really seeing a lot of domination by any particular manufacturer at the front of the field, really. And this inside of the top 8, it's pretty much even split between Chevys and Fords. There is one lonesome Toyota up there, just poor guy. Only 2 Toyotas in the field, so let's not knock on the Yodas right now, okay? But Andrew McConville showing some speed. Two Fords lead the way with Nick Burlow back in 6th. The slew of Chevys trying to track him down. Looks like this third pack getting a little bit unorganized. Driver's starting to juke around a little bit more. Looks like he's ready to give up the race lead. Looks like he may be thinking about fuel mileage here. Added the gas quickly in that second pack, quickly starting to gain some speed and momentum. 2.3 seconds back, closing in now, 1.1 over a second gained this past lap with all of the, I won't call it shenanigans, but all the hoopla. It's a field. And there it is, single file in the back. They've got the train trucking. Full head of steam heading to the front of the field. What will the Ford do when it gets there? The 11 of Wiggins says, I'm headed to the high side. Thank you very much for the tow. They're going to jump to the high side. 41 of Argabright, Janikin, and Gage all going to follow suit, jump right to that outside lane. You can see that Cherry Coke machine in the back of the field there. That thing looks tasty. Are you thirsty? I mean, it's not going to help that, but yeah. Anyway. So for the first time since about lap number 5, I know it seems like it's been quite some time, but really not that long ago, less than 10 laps to be. As a matter of fact, we're going to have side-by-side racing inside of your top 5 once again, outside lane, getting organized momentum and slingshotting themselves towards the front of this field. Alex Wiggins looking to bring that Detroit Lions, Michigan Wolverine-sponsored Chevy Camaro to the front of the field. Arga Bright right there in tow. Can the fast forward blow off the push? Laps in. When will drivers start to make their way to pit road? These next gen machines, the aero package, the horsepower package, downforce package, but if you want to be more correct about it, much different from what we've seen these drivers running in the recent past, in the recent season. We've seen the trucks, we've seen the Xfinity cars, we've seen different eras of the Cup machines. These next gen cars have been wanted for a while. They make their way back and bringing us great action early here from Talladega Super Speedway. You're watching the A.S.M.R Hauck Designs Cup Series. Pringles able to grab the top spot quite some time ago, keeping the field in tow right behind him after a switch on that outside lane. Took Argo Bright to surge to the front of the field. Clark Janikin all over his rear bumper, the 4-4. Dave Gage right there. Third car outside lane. Tell you what, we haven't been too close to the track. What do you say we go ahead and jump on board here with Gage? Take a little look in the car. Let's have a, well, can't see very much. Do we have the other one? There we go. Appreciate you guys. There you can see a little bit of a look of the working on the wheel. You can hear really modulating the throttle, working it, feathering it all throughout the corner. Never really full throttle. Take a look at those RPMs right there. Never really tacked out, never full throttle. Always up and down as he continues to try to keep the pace. And, well, they're going to make their way around him just like that. It was the pass by those outside 3 drivers to the front of the field. They're going to drop down to the inside lane. That's going to leave Alex Wiggins leading that second line. Looks like we may have a look at a third line starting to develop here. Andrew McConville now dropping to the rear of that outside lane. The Toyota dropping back. And again, that's how quickly it can happen here at Talladega Super Speedway. You can be inside of the top 5 1 lap and a half a lap later. You're on the outside of the top 10. Look it in. Now McConville going to slide back to the 13th position. Nicholas Wing just to his inside. How about the great look there on Cody Schultz's machine? Beautiful looking ride. Things getting a little dicey towards the front. What do you say we go back up here? Can we get a different camera angle, guys? There you go. Thank you very much. A lot of movement out of these machines. I'm going to look now. The driver sitting in third. Alex Wiggins looking to try to work his way around Argo Bone and Janikin. Were able to get by Dave Gage. He was fighting hard to get back towards the front of the field. entire field. Now on board with the Turner Trucking Company number 89 machine of Jet-Free Eagle, bringing you your premier racing setup. GoPro camera here tonight. And what's not to love about super speedway racing? I mean, come on. Big shout out to my man KR. KR is still out there doing the thing on Monday nights with the OP Super Speedway Series. Hats off to all the drivers over there, phenomenal super speedway racers. If you haven't had the chance and opportunity, check them out Monday nights with our good buddy, the Outlaw KR Stolfus on the mic, bringing you all the action from their weekly super speedway series. We got great action here tonight with the Hauck Designs Next Gen Cup Series. Week in, week out, 9 o'clock. Whoa, big trouble now. Trouble as drivers get into each other. We're going to stay green flag. No, we're not. We're going to bring it back. Just a second. Let's see how it all happened. There it is. A little bit of a wiggle out of that 96. It's going to get clipped and head to the inside. Everything was fine, and here you go. 3 wide, not going to work. A little bit of a tap on the tail end of McConville. That's going to send him around. Ooh, this is not going to be good. Didn't look good even under slow-mo. Tough break for a handful of these drivers at lap number 22. First time the caution going to come out here tonight. Just around the corner from that halfway point. So what? And this is always the crew chief in me. If you've been around me enough, you know I always bring it up. Is this going to do anything for strategy? Are drivers going to worry about tires here? Are we going to see right side only tires? Will we see some fuel only stops? It's early in the game. You're going to have to make at least one more stop. What do you do here? We'll see what the crew chief's calls are as we get back from a brief commercial break and a step away from the track as drivers head to the attention of their teams and crews. We're going to step away for a brief break. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. If you're just joining us here, caution, flag flies for the first time here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. Christian Abate going to use a little bit of strategy to be the first driver off of pit lane. Will the Red Mist podcast driver be able to keep it up front? We've seen drivers lead a lap, head to the back, but already those drivers back at the front once again are bright. Janikin, second and third on the racetrack. Is this the move for them to try to stay out front, to try to keep their positions at the front of the field? We ready to find out. Pace car ready to get to pit road. So let's get trackside and ready for the action. Linkley stay on pit road for 4 drivers fixing some damage to the 10 of Andrew McConville. With Jeffrey Engel, Joe Wormter, and Brian Tarnowski all with a little bit of trouble here tonight. We're going to keep our eyes poised in position right here at the front of the field for just a moment. Abate not getting off to a good start outside lane. With the momentum, with the surge, Arga Bright showing the way. Wiggins going to clear. Janikin drops to the bottom. That's going to leave the 38 at another second line outside road. Can he get a push on that 11 to get them to the front of the field? Quickly, driver's going to head single file. Once again, just 4. In that outside lane, McConville already making some headway. The 2 coming at you down the back stretch. Once again, Doug Argabright shows the way. Looks like a 3-wide situation starting to develop. Drivers feeling a little bit antsy. And just as we say that, trying to get back to the action and see that 3-wide begin to develop. Drivers going to think better of it. Head back side by side, fighting for position with that inside lane around that 5th spot. The 96 machine went on a little bit of a ride. Damage wasn't too bad. Able to massage and work the fenders. May be stuck in line for the majority of the race after the contact, but still running well. 4th in line inside lane, fighting for a position inside of the top 5. We're going to hit that time and scoring. Drop down to the left-hand side of your screen. Let you find and follow along with your favorite driver here tonight. Dave Gage finds his way to the front of the field. Argabright going to drop to the bottom. Gage going to look to try to keep the race lead for a moment here, but fighting hard on the outside is Wiggins. Looking to get there, but Dave Gage going to lead him across the line for the first time here tonight. New race leader once again here at the Talladega Super Speedway. got 15 drivers inside of this big pack. At the front of the field, looks like Overstreet, Coro, Tarnowski, and Engel electing to drop to the tail end of the field. Drop back just a little bit here. Convo keeps flirting with that outside lane, keeps flirting with trying to get that third lane working when he does. This could be good. That 38 looked like he may have wanted to venture to the high side. When we get 3 on 3 on those 2 outside lanes, I think we might have a problem. That inside lane still can't quite get things together with that third line run. So we're going to stay side by side, still battling for your race lead as Gage leads Wiggins, followed by Argerbright, Janikin, and Miller. Derek Moore says, you want to go? I'll go with you. 16 gonna jump to the high side, the Holiday Bourbon Machine. He's led a handful of laps here tonight. Wiggins sees the run. He's gonna jump to the high side. Bit of a block, pick up the momentum. That's gonna set sail to that outside lane now, pulling the parachute. The 2 stuck in the middle while the bottom lane starts to get away, but only for a moment. Man, look at that 4-car train rumble on the high side. Wiggins with a great block, and it almost paid off. Not quite able to lead a lap, able to get to the front. Not able to lead a lap yet here tonight. 75 laps scheduled in the official race distance. We've been green flag racing since lap number 24. First caution flag gonna fly back on lap number 22. Pretty much no harm, no foul. Little bit of a rough bump right there on the backside. Michigan native Wiggins gonna wiggle his way down the backstretch and towards turn 3. Front of the field really starting to get a discombobulated, shaken up. As we had 2 wide, 3 wide outside of your top 4, that allowed Gage, Argerbright, Janikin, the 45 of Bati to slowly start to pull away, but quickly outside 2, gonna make their run to the front. Wiggins gonna leave the 96 hanging on the high side. He's going to drop like a rock. He's going to head back to the front bumper. I believe that's the 16 out there on the outside lane. Yes, it is. 24 down to the inside. Making a swing. We're going to have a solid run here tonight. You can see that iconic number 24 DuPont machine, followed behind closely by the number 4 Panini Snake River Racing entry of Daniel Jensen. Jensen looking to have a good season. Wonder what the gambling hall looks like here tonight. How many people are still alive? If you know, you know. If you don't, well, hit these guys up, man. Hit them up on iRacing. Down in the league directories, you can find them. American Sim Motor Racing. Multiple different series. They've got GT3 series getting ready and geared up for the Rolex 24 here coming, I would say, in about 2 weeks, if I'm correct. Is that correct, guys? Can you check that for me? Love when we try to get facts and then we don't know if our facts are correct, but hey, I mean, might as well call me Fox. No, I'm kidding. You may like CNN. I don't know what you like. If you're here and watching, that means you like fast-paced, high-stakes action. Week in, week out, once again. Get your adrenaline fix each and every Wednesday night here with the American Sim Motor Racing Hauck Designs. The series we're going to be moving on next week, I believe. Where are we heading next week, gentlemen? Yeah, we're keeping it in the south, I know. It's Texas Motor Speedway on tap next week. And we'll talk about a way to open up the season. One of, if not the fastest track on the schedule to open things up here in season number 11, followed up by one of the fastest mile-and-a-half tracks. Texas Motor Speedway gonna host race number 2 here in season number 11. Close quarters racing at the front of the field, man. Derek Moore. Door checking. That 96, a little bit of an offset bump there. Big wiggle by the 96. Top 3 of that outside lane going to work their way now down to the bottom. More about to come in front of the field. Janikin looking to work his way back on the high side with a little bit of help from his friends. Not going to get there this time by. We told you. Working our way through the starting grid. If you remember, we can rewind it if you want to. I told you to look out for that 45 machine to work his way up through the field. Started back in the 10th position. Read this podcast. Camaro. Showing speed, showing that veteran mentality. Slowly but surely. Sitting in second, I ain't mad. Janikin trying to get that outside lane a little bit more organized. Trouble. About 3-4 cars back. They're going to wiggle, break apart a little, and that's going to allow the inside lane to head off into the sunset just a little bit more. Looked like we had a little bit of a look there. Who is that masked man? And I believe that's the 13 of Joe Hunter. Yes, it is. Joe with the Miami Vice Red Mist podcast paint scheme on that thing had us a little bit confused there. I ain't gonna lie. We don't lie to our friends around here. That's just something we don't do. Less than 15 laps ago when we were talking about this driver near the rear of the field, and here he is crossing the line as your new race leader here tonight in the Talladega 187. That Granger 3M sponsored number 5 machine of Cody Schultz. He's going to put his fast forward at the front of the field. And what, we used to have a saying, it's bad when the manufacturer circles the problem because Ford's emblem had a circle around it. Well, they did away with that with the Mustang in the front end of these things, and they're starting to show some of that old Ford power. Just saying, may not want to admit it, I'm a Hendrick Chevy guy, but and them Fords, they're looking good. Less than halfway to go here tonight in the season opener. for the Hauck Designs Next Gen Cup Series. Almost 20 laps of green flag racing back under our belts once again, so drivers are going to be looking towards pit road here. I would say in the next 10 laps, we should see these drivers starting to make their way to pit road for what could be first green flag pit stops of the season and what could be the final stop of the night. I don't think we've seen the last of the caution flag. I think we're going to see a little bit more raciness as these laps continue to click off as the night continues to wind down. We do have some 3-wide action. Hasn't really been a ton of 3-wide action, just a car or two stuck in the middle here or there. Nothing really to report on there. And you can see Dave Gage, who was a race leader, now falling back after being caught in that sucker hole in the middle. And if you get shuffled out, there's not much you can do about it. Look at that 13. He was 4th driver inside lane just about 3 laps ago. And now Wernter, the caboose, on the high side. We haven't had 3 wide for the race. Lead drivers have been working at getting it done. Ooh, my God. Up against the wall, close. One of the very few Toyotas in the field, and how about both of them inside of the top 10 now? Heck of a job by both Andrew McConville and Zach Miller. Miller has been running strong for the majority of the second run, really. That Cherry Coke sponsored number 38 machine has been looking good. We do got a little bit of disappearing action. Magic Man, the Michigan magician, flicks to stabilize just a little bit. I was gonna try to keep going, but I was running out of M's, so we just stopped it right there before I made a fool of myself. But if you tune in week in and week out, I'm sure you're gonna have plenty of opportunities for me to make myself sound stupid. Since getting at the front, he's remained at the front. Cody Schultz showing some power, being able to stay at the front of this field, separate himself just a little bit from the pack with help from Clark Janica, but now that outside lane really beginning to roll the Holiday Bourbon number 16 machine. Jared Moore, man, the guy shot out of a cannon on that outside lane, but that's the problem. We've seen it a couple of times. If that run starts a little too far back, it kind of stalls out there for about a half a lap or so. Moore not quite able to clear that inside lane. The 10 of McConville going to jump to the high side looking for some help. 3 wide, not going to get there, but at the line, Derek Moore gets it done. Moore going to steal a lap lead away from Schultz as they continue side by side. It looks like we're starting to even out a little bit here. It looks like these lines are starting to get about 6 to 7 drivers in each of them. Now that we're looking at it, we want to go back here. Let's go back here. You can see this 4 of Daniel Jensen. He's kind of a man all alone. 3.8 seconds back to Patrick Coro, who is running with help from Michael Overstreet, but these drivers quickly losing time to that lead pack of drivers. Jeffrey Engel with company, 28 of Brian Tarnowski. Both of these 2 drivers heavy sustained damage in our first caution. They're trying to just get what they can here tonight, bring it home, see what kind of points day they can have at the end of this thing. Meanwhile, there we can see that lead pack bearing down on both Engel and Tarnowski. What are they going to do when they get there? Will drivers decide to head to pit road and alleviate themselves of that problem? I don't think they're going to. I think we're going to have a three-wide moment here with some drivers struggling to stay on the lead lap quickly. We see drivers bailing. Ejecto Cito, cuz I'm heading to the bottom. Everybody smashing the button on the elevator. Bottom of the racetrack, single file now. And McConville says, well, hey, while you guys go to the bottom, I'm going to head to the top, see if I can pick off a few positions here. I don't think that's going to work out. They're going to have a little bit of trouble as McConville forced to stay to the high side, more giving up a ton of ground after just being at the front. We talked about it. We said it. It's something you hear every time you come to a super speedway. Look how quickly your race can turn around. Derek Moore shot out of a cannon, stole a lap from Cody Schultz less than a lap ago. And here he is now sitting in the 10th position over a second behind your lead pack. Just like that. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. We're going to head back to the front. Drivers starting to gap themselves a little bit. Wonder if they're giving themselves a little bit of room for looming green flag pit stops. We're going to be down to just 25 laps to go. That's gotta be go time, right? Gotta be. I'm not saying you gotta throw caution to the wind just yet. This is more of where you gotta be careful. You can't take yourself out of the race. You can completely blow it for your team. If you are not careful coming to pit road, pop by the pit road police for speeding, whether it's on or off pit road. This is where we find out who's been at the shop, who's been working those green flag pit stops, and who may have gotten a little bit rusty over the holiday break in between season 10 and season number 11. Kicking things off here tonight in fashion at Talladega Super Speedway. You're watching the A.S.M.R. Hauck Designs Cup Series, brought to you by Premier Racing Setups, your #1 setup shop. If you're looking for speed, whether it be 100th or a second, they can find you some speed out there on the track. They've got something for all works and aspects of racing. Head over to the longest standing, longest running setup shop around. That's PremierRacingSetups.com. You know what? I'm not sure when we're gonna have it, but I may be working ourselves into a little bit of trouble. If you're down in the south like I am, down here in the southern headquarters of the Turn 3 Racing Network, it's cold. And I know our members up there, the team up there in our headquarters in the Northeast, I know y'all know what cold is. But bro, it's cold down here. I can think of a handful of drivers that may want some of them Turn 3 hoodies to come back out. Cough, cough. Mr. Dobbs, Jason Racing. Jason, if you're listening, I know you hear me, bro. Bring it back. First round of green flag pit stops well and underway. More doping, Avanti, McConville, Prendergast, Schultz, Wing, Wormter, Jensen, Coro, Overstreet, all to pit lane. Top 6 gonna remain. Out there on the racetrack, Clark Janikin showing the way. Zach Miller, Nick Burlow with Argabright, Dave Gage, and Alex Wiggins. Last driver in the pack, fanning out. Looks like everybody gonna keep it. Ooh, that 38 pretty quick. Here comes the 11. A little bit of a lockup out of that 41. 3 wide on entry to pit road. Derek Moore is going to lead the field of drivers that already made their green flag pit stop, heading back up to speed. Moore with a quick stop. Looks like a fuel-only stop for the 16, but this is where it's tough. Looks like he may have had a great strategy, and oh, Moore's got to come back to pit road. No. That's never a good sign when you got to head back to pit lane. Nicholas Wing now next driver in line with just a fuel only possible right side only stop for that 24 machine. Gonna work his way around a handful of drivers there. You can see Alex Wiggins quickly off of pit road. Once again for Wiggins, but also that 24 alone off of pit road. He's going to be eaten up quickly by drivers with the full head of steam. Cody Schultz going to quickly head around. Abati also brings Franklin's winning for the first time here tonight. Christian Abati to the race lead, 22 to go. Here from Talladega Super Speedway. You know what? I'm going to start a little controversy early here in season number 11. Why not, right? I mean, we got a long way to go to build this thing up. Might as well start the drama here tonight in race number 1. Boys, I know a handful of you are going to go back and watch this thing over, so I know you're going to hear me. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Y'all fixing to let Janikin take a year off, pop back up in season number 11, snatch a pole position away right off the rip, and get to victory lane. Ain't no way y'all gonna let him do it. So if you had Janikin as your pick, I know he wasn't on your dark horse list. Hope your bingo card doesn't get full. I'm just saying, that's just me. I ain't gonna let you do me like that. You out here just blacked out. No sponsors, you out here just good. Nah, ain't happening. Ain't happening. I ain't letting you do me like that. Nick Burlow with a heck of a run as well. Burlow leading a handful of laps now at the front of this field. First time we've seen this number 51 Grady Parts Plus machine at the front. He's led the past 4 laps. He's with 20 laps to go. Things starting to look much different. What was a 14 now down to 9. 9 drivers in this lead pack looking for a race win. A star fallen from fame. There you can see that holiday bourbon. Number 16 machine of Derek Moore. Problems on the pit stop. Problems. And that's what we talked about. We talked about not having those problems and what it can do to your night, what it can do to your race. We've seen the 16 multiple times. We've seen him multiple times work his way to the front of the field. We know he's got speed, but a problem on pit road cost him his opportunity. Now sitting in the lucky dog position, first driver, 1 lap down, and he is one of the drivers. I can guarantee it. Moore, he's looking for that second caution. He's just hoping he's not part of it. Less than 20 laps to go now. Top 9 breaking away to over a 3-second gap. And what do you do if you're one of these lead lap drivers and you got that 16 behind you? He's got nothing to lose at pushing the bejesus out of you. It don't matter to him if he sends you across the infield or up into the outside wall. He's looking for a little help. You know he's got speed. You know he's been at the front of the field. Do you go with him? Seeing a little bit of the answer right there. 45 of McConville comfortable running with that fast number 16 machine. No damage, just a little trouble on pit road. 96, I believe that is. Yes, indeed. Nick Ringles out there on the outside hanging on to the tail end of Moore as well. And I like it. You gotta do something. You gotta do something. Christian Avanti now leading that outside lane. He's gonna fight with the 41 of Doug Argabright, that black and gold Mobile 1 machine. And we haven't been up close on Argabright here tonight, have we, guys? Let's get a little closer. Let's get down. Look at that thing. I'm telling you what. Nasty. One heck of a run on that outside lane. Good night. Bati gonna sail around on that high side, grab the race lead. That's gonna bring Moore and put himself close to being on the lead lap. Not quite there. What's that 96 gonna do? Do you drop to the bottom? Or do you hope that 45 heads to the bottom and Moore says, nah, I'm gonna stay to the high side? What do you do here? Run beginning to come on that inside lane. You're gonna be short pressed for a decision here. Less than 15 to go. Start thinking about being in position. You gotta start running those final few laps of tonight's race through your head. What are you gonna do? When are you gonna go? How long does it take you to get there? Hopefully these drivers have some sort of an idea. But sometimes as race car drivers, we just tend to be in the moment and we'll do what we gotta do when we gotta do it. We'll see who does what. These final closing 13 laps to open up the season here with the A.S.M.R Hauck Designs Next Gen Cup Series. Going to cross the line the Talladega 187. Non-stop racing action. Caution way back on lap number 22. 40 laps of green flag racing after that. An amazing job here. Of all of these drivers, and who's going to get it done? I know we've had a handful of people in and out of the chat. The chat seems pretty quiet here tonight. Nobody picking any winners. And I mean, that's so tough. Right now, you almost seem like you may be playing favorites if you pick a winner at this point, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I really like the way that 51 of Nick Burlow has worked his way into the picture, has worked his way into the conversation. Quietly. Haven't seen any real big moves out of him. But he has led a handful of laps. He's sitting third on the inside lane right now. In a great position with Clark Janikin behind him should he decide to jump to the middle. I think Janikin might go with him. That could bring the 5 of Cody Schultz along. You've got the 11 of Alex Wiggins occasionally having those technical hiccups. So is that weighing on a handful of these drivers' minds as, can I go with Wiggins? If he jumps to the middle, can I trust that I'm going to see what I see? A lot to think about, a lot to digest, a lot to go over. We're going to jump a little closer. Let's see, can we get an onboard look? That is not our onboard camera, guys. There we go. We're going to look off the hood of Clark Janikin as he's sitting in that 4th position. 3 drivers in line just in front of him. God, I love these sweet shots. Less than 10 laps to go. Action at the front. We've got drivers starting to make some moves. The 24 gonna get moved a little bit here as the number 16 of Derek Moore gonna drop to the tail end of his lead. Back Carter Bryant continues to lead, but now leading on the high side. Schultz gonna work his way to the bottom. Now back to the top. Here comes Cody looking to lead a lap. Oh, and contact. Contact at the front of this field, and we've got drivers with some big time trouble. Alex Wiggins gonna get caught up and involved in this one. Caution number 2 gonna fly. Lap number 68. Let's take it back. Let's take a look. There you can see. Just comes down the track after a little bit of a bump, comes up the track, contact with the 51 of Burlow, but Schultz gonna bear the brunt of this one. Alex Wiggins going to wear a little bit of the damage as well, and a tough way to end the night here tonight for a handful of these guys as we're going to drop back behind the pace car again. Doug Argabright going to lead the field. Who comes to pit road? Schultz and Wiggins, well, they're on pit road. But did Derek Moore, was he able to keep it clean and work his way through the carnage there? If so, he'll get the lucky dog, and his race may not be over, but broadcaster curse. Oh, man, Nick. Heavy front end damage on that 51 machine. His chances of making it a race-winning performance really diminished now as he does head to pit road to get that machine looked at. We'll see if he can get it fixed up and get back out there on the track in time to try something if he can. He's definitely going to need to be in the draft. He's definitely going to have to be tucked in behind a car, so we'll see if he's able to do anything. Heavy damage on the front end of that Grady, the number 51 Ford Mustang driven by Nick Burlow. Jake Dofing, Andrew McConville, Michael Overstreet, and Patrick Coro will join him on pit lane. So it looks like your top 9 going to stay out on the racetrack. Doug Argabright going to lead him under caution. Clark Janikin right there with Nicholas Wing, Christian Abbate, Nick Frangelis, and Zach Miller, followed by Dave Cage and Joe Wormter. Daniel Jensen, the last of your top 9 to stay out on the racetrack. And really, questioning some of the tactics here. McConville coming to pit lane, but looks like for maybe just a 4-second stop in the pit box. Not quite sure if anything. That may be a splash only. Way too quick to be left side tires. All right, here we go, side by side once again. Front of the field. I mean, might as well be a shot of the starting grid. Because your front 2 rows, or your front row, I apologize, your front row. Same drivers, opposite spots. Argabright going to lead us to the green flag on the inside lane, with Clark Janikin just to his outside. Nicholas Wing, Christian Abbate going to make up row number 2. the 38 and 96 back in row number 3. Worms are engaged. Row 4, row 5. Jensen and McConville. I would say, what do you do here? But I think it's pretty self-explanatory. The times now, you gotta go flat to the floor. Bring back a checkered flag or bring the wheel back. That's about all I got for it. We're going to see what happens here as we quickly approach the Geico restart zone. Waiting for it on the gas. And green flag flies once again here at Talladega. Inside lane a bit rough to get going. Top 3 on the outside lane able to stay. Whoa, big move by Argo Bright with a massive block to the top side of the racetrack, man. See that outside momentum growing and building. Argo Bright didn't want to give it a chance or opportunity. He's going to jump to the high side, lead that outside lane. Now looking to the bottom. Janikin snakes his way in. Whoa, here comes that 24 Nicholas Wing shuffle out of that inside lane. Looking to pick up the 45 of Abati from behind to now make it 3 wide as Burlow looking to make some headway. We'll have 3 to go at the line. Three to go at the stripe. We're going to go ahead. Give it to you one right here. An unfiltered 3 wide at the back of the pack. Still taking a look at your race leaders, but let's go. Go a little bit further back, guys. Let's see if we can see this action is beginning to build. The drama fixing to unfold as we're going to have 2 to go. This time by 3 wide for the race lead. Janikin on the bottom with the 24 Wing in the middle. Argo Bright going to have to yield that spot. Fall back second driver. In line in that mid-lane back. Now Argo Bright pulls out to the top. That's going to bring the 45 with him. Abati going to head to the top. Nicholas Wing now jumping left and right. 38 13 behind him. From top to the bottom, from the bottom to the top. Doug Argo Bright showing why he was able to walk away with a season championship. Big run from Burlow on the high side. Is that, no, that's Patrick Coro. Woo! The 24 all sorts of out of shape, my gosh. Two and a half miles lay out in front of these drivers. This is gonna do it. White flag will fly this time around. Next flag will end the race, whether it be a caution or a checkered flag. Now's the time to go. Dave Gage jumps to the high side. High side hustling, looking to take it to victory lane. Dave Gage looks for some help, not going to get it. Going to have to tuck back in line as Janikin continues to push that 41. Here comes a run from 3 cars on the high side. Once again, the 38 going to jump to the high side, stall that momentum. Dave Gage back into the, trouble in the back, trouble in the back. 2 drivers going to head backwards. That's not the way you want to go. Argo Bright looking to the top, to the bottom. Contact. Down goes Janikin. Back up on the track now. Where's Argo Bright going to go? Looking 2-3 wide. Argo Bright with a big block and able to make it still. Argo Bright going to walk away with the race win as Clark Janikin and Dave Gage going to finish out. Third podium here tonight. What a damn finish. Sheesh. You know, we're going to go back. We got to see it once again. Let's give the fans what they want. Let's take a look at this. Holy jeez. Look at the run right here. Dave Gage says, thank you, sir. He's going to head. I believe he's going to take that run on the high side. There it is right there. 3 wide for second place, 4 wide behind him. Good God. How can you not like that? Amazing job and amazing win from this man right here. We mentioned a handful of times here tonight throughout the course of the broadcast. Doug Argerbright going to park that Ford Mustang Mobile One black and gold machine in victory lane. Take away the first checkered flag of the season. One heck of a job here tonight. Argerbright gonna burn it down. See if his season can catch on fire. Unlike his state. Well wishes and prayers for everybody over in the area over there in California dealing with the wildfires. But there you go, burning it down, having some fun. In his post-race celebrations, Doug Argerbright gonna walk away as your victor here tonight. We're gonna step away for just a brief commercial break as we get things set up and ready to go for your post-race show. Don't go anywhere, race fans. We'll be right back. And right back trackside for your post-race show. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to dive right into things. One heck of a night here tonight from Talladega Super Speedway. And we're going to get to have a little chat with a buddy we haven't talked to in quite some time. Able to blow the dust off of it and find a way back to a podium, man. Dave! Where you been, bro? Where you been?
Oh, we had a tough season last season. We had a little bit of off time. We got ourselves back in the car, and I guess I didn't forget how to do it.
Is it, and I don't mean to be, I don't mean to sound any type of way. I know you're not going to take it any type of way, but is it cuz y'all got two hurricanes this season? I mean this past season?
Yeah, I saved the wind up to be honest with you in a jar, and I was just releasing a little bit of that every lap to get it a little
Nice,
push.
nice, nice. Man, it's been a while. Glad to get to talk to you once again. Walk us through a little bit of the night out there tonight, and do you think you could have done anything different in those at that last restart?
Yeah, I don't know if it was the last restart, but before that, the second pit stop, I gotta stop giving my pit crew cookies. I don't know what happened in there. Everybody left pit road like 5 seconds after before I did. Maybe my guys were a little too cookied up or something, but they took their sweet time getting me going. I finally got going. I hooked up with Zach, pushed the living heck out of him. We were catching the pack, and we watched the wreck in front of us. We were like, "Hey, look at that, golden." We started off on that last restart. The guys in front of me didn't quite get going, and I was stuck, on the bottom line, a couple cars back there. And at that point, it was just team strategy to see what we could do to try to get everybody back towards the front. And then after that, that was one of those ones. It's a white flag lap. Everybody's going like heck, and let's find out where the crumbs fall. And luckily, they fell with me on a little step of the podium here tonight.
Glad you had that little bit of a cookie plate, is what I'm gonna say there. Catch the crumbs and pick up the pieces
Mm-hmm.
and
You
walk
got
away
it.
with a good finish. Um, I just got sidetracked and lost train of thought. My goodness,
Cookie Monster
I
did it
yeah.
again.
Damn it, Dave, you and the cookies. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, Man, back in the
Love it.
next gen car. Uh,
Yes, sir.
how you feeling about this season? I know a lot of guys wanted to get back into this next gen machine. Finally got it done for this season.
Yeah.
How you feeling? I know it's early, but how you feeling about the season?
I'm not a giant fan of these cars, to be honest with you, but luckily they're pretty rough. They're pretty tough as far as taking a beating. So we might have to check on how tough they are this season. Well, you never know. It could be a great season, could be terrible. I don't have all that many laps in these cars, so it'll be a little bit of learning, a little bit of fun. We have the venerable Clark back on the team here, so that always makes the races a lot more fun. Anyway, we have quite a bit of fun in our chat there. Luckily, we don't have radioactive in this league, so you guys don't have to hear beep 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 the whole time. But we have fun doing it, so it should be an interesting season.
Well, some of us know Morse code, but without the dashes, it does us no good. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah,
say on that
yeah,
one.
yeah, right. Do's,
Uh,
dots, and dashes. It's spelled out cookie.
uh, Hell of a start of the season for you, man.
Yes,
Before we
sir.
let you go, you know the drill.
Yeah, we're always going to throw the thanks out there. Thanks to the league. Look, I'm one of the admins, but I'm only one of them. These guys work real hard, all of us do, to keep this thing going. We had a pretty good turnout tonight, like 18, 19 cars, whatever it was. A lot of good racing. These guys now have raced around each other a bunch, so everybody's fairly comfortable. Luckily, wasn't a wreck fest like a typical plate track, so a big shout out to all of those guys, everybody on the track tonight. Shout out to the parents, because without them, well, I wouldn't be talking to you now. They raised me to be a good enough man that I'm not in jail, nor have I done anything bad. So they did obviously a pretty good job. The teammates, Clark, Wiggy out there, he took a rough hit there, but he had our back, was spotting at the end for us. Zach, who I pushed the living heck out of him the whole time, he did a great job there. So all the guys on my team, Mr. Miller, man, I can't say enough again. He took a lot of pushing through there and did great, and then we worked together really good. So I'm gonna thank all of them. Last, of course, I have to thank you, Dave. You put on a great show every time, and this year I get to be on it at least once. Last year I didn't. I don't think I made it.
Well, you were on it. You just weren't in the post race show. You were on the show every week. You just,
I was I was on the greatest
I
hits
mean,
version.
you were here. I'm not gonna say present, but you were
And
here.
very many parts of my car were on your broadcast a lot last season, and they happened to be strewn across the track. But that's okay. I was on.
A highlight is a highlight, right? At the end of the
Indeed,
day.
sir. Indeed. And we got the snake car out this year. I was messing around all season, come up with a silly paint scheme. Kind of looks like a snake. There's eyes in the middle of the numbers and everything. So we're gonna see if we could do some snaky things this year.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on a great way to start
Amen.
season number 11. And until next time, my man, stay safe and keep it fast.
All right, brother. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, there you go. Final few words for the man that walks away with third place here tonight. Always good and a pleasure to catch up with Dave Gage, and that's going to move us right along. Let's see if we can't grab a word with the man that's been missing in action and just, poof, magically walks away with a pole position. Clark, man, you almost were able to walk away with a win. How good would it have felt to kind of stick your tongue out at everybody?
It would have been cool and all, but I'm just happy I didn't die, dude. I've had horrible luck at plate tracks, so the fact that it came home in one piece, we'll take that.
Well, man, I'm gonna go ahead and address an elephant in the room, or I'm gonna put the elephant in the room then to address it if I have to. But anyways, you've been missing. We said it. How much are we gonna see you this season? Are we gonna have to deal with you week in, week out, or are these drivers gonna be, are you a pinch hitter? I don't know.
It's more the second one, man. I think, was it last 2 seasons I ran one race? I ran the opener. So every 2 seasons I'll run the opening of the. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I'm having a stroke. But every other season I'll run one race. That's pretty much what's going on here. Will I run more this season? I have no idea, dude. I've fired up this thing for the first time in like 3-4 months, and we just sent it. It's pretty fun though, so I won't say no. That's for sure.
Well, man, I know I'd look forward to seeing you back out there on the track, man. Long time since I've had a chance to talk to you, but hey, it is what it is. Life comes first and things of that nature, and I know that's what kind of keeps you away from the track at times. But man, gotta feel good about unloading, as you said. Kind of blew the dust off of it with the air dusters and the brooms and the shop vacs, and jumped back in the rig and was able to walk away with the pole position. So you got to be feeling at least confident if you're gonna stick around.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I really felt like I could do whatever I wanted all night. There was a portion there where I just got tired of riding and shoved Cody all the way up to the front. I probably could have went for the win, but I haven't really worked with Doug before. We tried working together tonight. He was great all night. I had no problem pushing him. He was able to hold a steady wheel, so I just figured I can either go for the win and probably end up firewall deep, or I can stick to Doug's bumper and come out of here with the top 5. And so if it's second, I'll take second.
I don't know. I might have went firewall deep, man. I'm just saying. That's just me.
You got to keep the average finish up, man. For one race every 2 seasons, you got to keep the average finish up.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm only gonna be here one night. Might as well send it. I mean, why not? Just blame Dave. Everybody does. Just like he dropped a cookie out the window and I slipped.
It's Dave's fault.
I mean, it always is Dave's fault. At least that's what I hear. Anyways, man, Clark, glad to see you back. Glad to see you running well. Good to talk to you and hear your voice again, man. You know the drill. You know how we do things. Shadows, thanks yous, love yous.
I appreciate you broadcasting, man. Like you said, it's been a while since I got to talk to you, but it's fun to see you. Appreciate everybody here, all the admins that make this thing work. Lord knows I hardly do anything around here, so it's really just Coro, Dave, Dan. They're awesome. Everybody driving tonight, that was fun. I think we had 1 or 2 cautions, if that. I appreciate everybody watching, man. That was fun.
Yeah, absolutely a ball. Great night. I hope to see you back, man. I'm not gonna fanboy you or nothing like that, but man,
you can.
I like to see you out there on the track. We need to get some sponsors on that thing. I'll send you some decals if you got. You ain't gotta run naked out there.
Oh, I gotta find somebody to paint it unless you feel like doing it.
Hey, I know this real good guy.
Is his name Ed?
You know this guy?
I know that guy.
He runs a. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this. He runs a badass paint shop. That's all I'm gonna say. I think you might know how to get a hold of him, but
I've definitely done that a time or 2 before. I'll shoot him a message.
All right, well, Clark, again, hell of a way to start the season. Hope to see you back again. Until then, my friend, as always, stay safe and keep it fast.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, it's always fun when you get to catch up and give some of your buddies a little bit of a hard time. Clark, back on the track again. Who knows if we're going to see him for the rest of the season? He might Houdini us once again. Who knows? But nonetheless, walks away with the pole position here tonight. Finishes in second to a former season champion. And we're going to jump right into victory lane with the California kid getting it done once again. Bro, I don't know that I can call you a kid too much longer. I've known you for about, quote unquote, known you for about, 2 to 3 years now? got a championship underneath your belt, and here you are in victory lane, man. How good does it feel, race number one, to get the monkey off your back?
Feels real. I see. I don't know. I'm getting married in April, so I think that also disqualifies me for kid. Um, but yeah, no, it feels really good. It was really drafting tracks are always a kind of gamble, and whether you want to sit back or try to control the race and everything. But I feel like with these next gen cars, it's so easy just to lose the draft and just fall so far behind. So it was less of a stress, I guess, in strategy in that way, where it's like, okay, just control the race best we can. Um, and it was just, yeah, it was really a team effort. Um, TTP guys helped me a lot. Clark was very important in helping call strategy, and especially at the end there after the crash, they um, took out the 5 and the 11 and everybody else. So that was very. This is as much Clark's win as it is mine. Um, I feel like because especially you can only look in your mirror so much, but when you have another guy behind you saying, "Hey, there's another car coming up, block the middle, block top." Um, that was really helpful, and I'm really glad Dave was able to come back up and get third too. So, um, yeah, it was a crazy race, and I'm glad to start off with a win. So that way, now when I win the championship this season, I can't say I did it as a Matt Crafton no win.
Now, see, you went ahead and said something about it. I was going to kind of let you off the hook and not say much about it here, but I mean, do you think it gives you any better shot? Do you think maybe it jinx it, knowing that 2 seasons ago you took that Xfinity crown without getting to victory lane? Solid finishes all year, though. Let's make no bones about it. I mean, you were on the podium multiple times throughout that championship performance. So do you think this makes it easier? Does it take any weight off your shoulders, or is it just going to be uh, make it that much better when you do walk away with a championship?
I don't say easier in any way. I never like to say easier and kind of coast unless it's I know just starting the race wins the championship in points. Like I'm so far ahead that that's where it's at. So I never want to say easier in any sort of way. But it definitely does feel better because especially get it this early on to where it's like, okay, I know I won without winning a race and I've already won a race. That means I can do even better and try to have a little bit more of a dominant season if I can. Um, and I feel like it, even if I'm still just the consistent and I don't win again, I'll still be just as happy. But I don't know. In a weird way, winning the championship without winning the race is winning a race, I should say, is it's really cool because it's so unique and it's just so not traditional, and I really hold that pride of the consistency part of it. So to win a more traditional, okay, I won a race, I'm staying up front like that, and hopefully win multiple races. So yeah, hopefully it'll be a more traditional run through.
Well, we do got a long way to go, so we'll see how the chips fall and where they lay at the end of this thing. But already with a victory underneath your belt, season number 11 getting off to a great start for you. You know how it goes here in the post race show. So shout outs, thank yous, love yous.
As always, shout out, thank you, love you to you, Mr. Cave, for always calling these races. It's been a little while since we talked since last season, so nice to hear your voice again. Um, this season actually, I was saying about getting married in April. This season actually goes up perfect to the last race is the last Wednesday before my wedding. So hopefully I can do a thank you, love you in with a championship right before my wedding. That's kind of I want to set that first, say that first race and hope it comes true. Also thank you, love you again to Clark was extremely pivotal this race. Um, not just for my success, but for kind of whole group we got going. It's always my fiance when I tell her about in a little bit that I won. She's gonna say that's cool and then go back on to what it was. So I'm always bugging her with my stuff. And yeah, just yeah, really thankful to start the season like this. Um, already came in with a lot of confidence, but it's an even bigger confidence boost.
Well, Doug, congratulations on a great race winning performance here tonight. Congratulations on track and in life, man. We wish you the best in both worlds, and we'll see if we'll see if that wedding gift or pre-wedding gift can come true by the end of this season. But until then, my friend, and until next time, stay safe, and as always, keep it fast.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, there you have it. Final few words from your top 3 drivers and the man that walked away in victory lane. Early here in the season, Doug Argabright going to walk away with the first checkered flag performance. And man, what a night. What a night. What a way to kick things off. What a way to get things going here in season number 11. And you can already hear producers ready to roll. Music's in the background, so you know it's time to run down tonight's unofficial race results from Talladega Super Speedway. Walking away with the top spot, checkered flag in hand, setting the track on fire. The man from the state on fire, Doug Argabright. Gonna park the Mobile 1 machine in victory lane. Clark Janikin could be a one and done, but he's going to walk away with a pole position here tonight, snatching that PremierRacingSetups.com pole award. Walking away second here tonight, Dave Gage, the Cookie Monster. Says not found, but you can find him in the kitchen with the cookies. I'm telling you. Watch out for that sneaky snake, the number 404 of Dave Gage. Rounds out your podium drivers here tonight. The number 96 is Nick Ferringlis, going to walk away fourth with Cody Schultz, bringing the number 5 home in fifth. The Cherry Coke number 38 of Zach Miller going to come home sixth with the 16. Holiday Bourbon Machine of Derek Moore finishing in seventh. Daniel Jensen going to walk away eighth with Patrick Coro in ninth. Joe Wormter in the 13 Machine going to finish out your top 10. Andrew McConville back in 11th, followed by Christian Abate, Nick Burlow, Michael Overstreet, and Nicholas Wing. Rounds out your top 15. Brian Tarnowski back there in 17th. Jake Dofing, Jeffrey Engel in the 11 of Alex Wiggins finishes out the 19 car field here tonight to open things up in season number 11 for the Hauck Designs. American Sim Motor Racing season number 11. That's going to do it for us. We're going to begin to cut off the lights and roll up the cords, get ready to head down and two-step our way all the way to Texas. We're going to get it done on the track next Wednesday night. Hope to see you there. An amazing night and an amazing run. And it's got to come to an end at some time. So with all that being said, if you haven't already, be sure to show the driver some love and appreciation. Make sure you join us in that push to 4,000 subscribers. As we already said, drop these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell. Over there on the right-hand side, get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Whether it's myself, David the Cave, or anybody else back at the headquarters, we appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. Thank you to all the sponsors and all the drivers as well. That being said, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and until next time, we'll meet you in Turn 3.